Joining us now is Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker. Good to have you here, sir.
Hello, good to be with you.
You guys going to get this done?
Well, I sure hope so. And the plan is, yes, to get a tweaked version out by midweek, and then to pass the motion to proceed, actually get on the bill. And that will open up what we call the vote-a-rama, and it'll be one of the most open processes of amendments you've ever seen. So we need to move to that phase, get on the bill, and then move to the amendment process next week.
Are you really optimistic that it can happen? Because it sounds like there's just huge division among Republicans, Republicans within the party, about what exactly health care reform should or should not be about when it comes to, for example, the expansion of Medicaid.
Well, I think there's unanimity, though, that the current system is imploding. There was a Gallup survey out yesterday that indicated that 2 million fewer adults will be covered this year under the current system. The market is crashing. The co-ops are getting out of the business. Premiums are going through the roof. This is a system that's not working. We can make it better.
We know all that, but you're losing the PR war on the Medicaid front.
Well, I'm trying to win the PR war on CNBC this morning.
Well, every story that you read about what the bill will do to Medicaid is all about how the severely disabled are going to lose their care, that the elderly are going to lose their care, rather than the whole focus on the expansion to able-bodied adults.
Well, you know, that's just, I would just challenge that as being false. Listen, Medicare expenditures are going to go up under the House plan. I think under the Senate plan, Medicare expenditures are going to go up even more. But we've got to slow the growth rate of this program so it'll be around for people that need it and also for future generations. Nobody's talking about cutting Medicaid. We're talking about slowing the growth rate and preserving it and making it better, and having 50 states have experiments about making it more efficient and able to deliver better services for the people in those states.
But do you realize that the American public is hearing that it's about cutting Medicaid? I've been doing a lot of research over the last 3 weeks, talking to Medicaid researchers. When you get them on the phone, they are very much against this bill. This is about draconian cuts. The entire system is geared against you guys right now.
Well, and that's why I'm on your show at 8 a.m. this morning in beautiful Washington, D.C., to try to win the PR war. So what I am telling you is that we are going to make Medicaid better. We're going to give states the power to experiment and come up with their best plans. And also we're going to lower premiums for people in the private market. Now that is a better solution, and we're doing our best to get the message across. But you're right, it's awfully hard to compete with the media and all of these voices.
You know, Senator, the problem is there's a contingent that, like Bernie Sanders, he wants single payer.
That's exactly what the Democrats want.
Right, that's what they want. So if everybody had Medicaid, that would essentially result in single payer. So they're not interested, I don't think, in any way of reforming the entitlement. They want to expand the entitlement to basically be akin to something like single
thank
payer.
goodness I'm not depending on Bernie Sanders to make this work.
Right.
Bernie Sanders and his team lost the last election.
Right.
And the team that won was one saying that we are going to replace Obamacare, which is a failing system, with something that lowers premiums and makes the Medicaid system work better for average Americans.
California looked at, I thought they were going to, as a state, you know, they're very, you know, clear-thinking people out there, the politicians. They were going to make it single payer in that state, but then they realized, wow, we won't have any education, we won't have any police, we won't have any anyone cleaning up the parks, there won't be any highways, there won't be any firefighters, or, you know, but we can have single payer. We just can't have anything else, and we probably will owe a lot of money on single payer. So they kind of said,
I need for you to repeat that 5 times an hour, and maybe you'll help us get our message through. We can grow the Medicaid program and make it work for the people who depend on Medicaid. And we can do it in a sensible way that lets 50 states experiment, and we'll see who comes up with the best plan. Nobody's talking about cutting the Medicaid program, and also we've got to do something to moderate these premiums in the private sector.
But Senator,
no question about it.
You say it's about winning a PR war, but realistically, it is more than that. If you really want to get this bill passed, what actual changes to the bill do you expect will need to be made?
Well, okay, please excuse me from negotiating in public. I think it's going to look much like the bill that was out 2 weeks ago, but we'll see. I'm not in the room where the writing is taking place. But I think bottom line is we're going to grow Medicaid at a reasonable rate that our economy can sustain, and we're going to let 50 states experiment with doing it right.
And does all this happen before the August recess?
Oh, it very much needs to be done. We need to free up the Congress to work on tax reform, making us more competitive internationally and getting jobs going. We need to talk about an infrastructure bill.
Since you have
we
such
need to
big...
build up our defense and get the defense bill passed.
Should you just give up on the August recess
done.
completely? So let's say you get health care reform done. Tax reform is a big item as well. Should you just give up the August recess right now? Just say, you know what, we got too much work to do?
I, for one, if the majority leader asked my vote, absolutely, I would certainly welcome the idea to stay here in Washington, D.C. and get the job done for the American people. It's that important, no question about it. But let's go ahead now and try to get it done in this month and then move on to the conference committee and to other topics.
Senator, just quick side point, Randy Quarles' nomination, when does that get to the floor, and will it be an easy confirmation?
You know, it seems to me that confirmations that should be easy have been slow-walked by Senator Schumer, the majority leader. I mean, we even had a vote cloture yesterday on a district judge nomination that had initially come from the Obama administration. So I'm not going to be optimistic about any nominations moving quickly.